Hey, welcome to today's episode of The Entrepreneur Experiment. Over the next couple of weeks and months, I'm going to be putting out much more regular content, kind of chronicling my journey through this whole madness that is the current situation. This is what The Entrepreneur Experiment actually started as, so I'm going to revert back to type. I will continue to do The Entrepreneur Experiment as it was in terms of in-depth interviews and things like that, but I'm also going to chronicle what I'm doing in my own business. With that said, disclaimer, these are just my opinions. These are not accountancy. This is not accountancy advice. This is not financial advice. This is not legal advice. These are just my opinions, things that I'm doing in my business, right or wrong. If they help you, great. If not, just enjoy the podcast or video. So today I'm going to talk about 5 ways to cut costs in your business. First one, do a full financial audit. Now, I don't mean forensic accounting. I mean, get the last 3 months of your business accounts and just go through them line by line. Find out what exactly you're spending money on. You should do this anyway monthly, just when you're talking to your accountant. You should go through all your expenses, tally them off with your receipts. That's just good financial practice. But especially now, and this will tie into points 2 and 3, you need to know exactly what you're spending kind of day by day, by month. You'd be kind of surprised at all the little things that you've been buying for the last kind of couple of months or years in your business that aren't really essentials. So that's number 1, do a full financial audit. Chat to your accountant and speak about what you can be doing in terms of there's supports now available to business. If you go to my website, you'll see the list of supports. There's loans available. There's all sorts of supports available for you, for your business right now. So use the financial audit to kind of base that off and go, how much cash do we have for the next 3, 6, 12 months? Number 2, cancel all recurring payments that are non-essential. And what I mean by that is monthly subscriptions to stuff that is not essential. And by not essential, I mean it's either not keeping the lights on or it's not generating revenue. So you'd be surprised, little bits of software you've picked up over the time or software you're using that you can find a cheaper alternative for. So for example, MailChimp, you could use SendFox or something like that. So look through do a little spreadsheet of all the software you currently use and then tally that off against how often in the month you actually use it or what you use it for. You'd be pretty surprised. I did that yesterday. I cancelled probably, I guess over the year, 500-600 euros worth of software, little bits that just add up over time. So yeah, cancel anything that's not essential. Important. So the next thing is, this little tip actually came to me when I was due to renew my accountancy package the other day. It was due to renew and it was a yearly subscription and it was going to be 400 or 500 euros. So what I did instead was I switched to a monthly membership. And I think that's key for all the stuff that you buy, because keeping cash on hand now is going to be vital for your business. So for me, I changed to monthly, so that instead of it was going to be 400 and something for the year, it's a little bit more per month, but it's worth it because now it's only 36 euro per month instead of 400 euro leaving my bank account. You want to hold on to as much cash as you can right now. This might last another 2 months, 6 months, 12 months, whatever it does. You need the cash to be able to sustain yourself, to pay your wages, your staff's wages, your rent, your overhead, stuff that has to be paid anyway. So just make sure anything that's going out of the business in terms of payments is critical. Number 3, this is something I learned off Pat Flynn. If you go on to him, he's a US entrepreneur, YouTuber. Do a time audit on your business and on your staff and on yourself, most importantly. Probably most importantly, start with yourself. What are you spending your time on now for your business? So equate your hourly wage. So say how much you're going to pay yourself, just whatever you do pay yourself, use that hourly wage and then tally that off against, right, what are you doing for the business and is it generating revenue? Is it generating revenue? Is it saving revenue? Or what is it doing? Because if you're just doing busy work, you may as well not be working, and that telling in itself, that'll help you make a decision about whether your business is actually viable in the long term. So do a time audit. Just literally go into Google Calendar, map out your week, and then at the end of the week, go through and see exactly, you can color code it if you want, get all details, but the most important thing is just to log your hours. You can just do it with your notebook if you want. Just log your hours of what you're doing every single day. Go, okay, 9 to 10 was accountancy, 10 to 11 was marketing, whatever it is, and just make sure. You'd probably be shocked by the end of the week of maybe how little work you've done or how much work you've done or how much work you've done in the wrong way. That's important too, knowing what you're working on. Am I working on stuff that's actually important, or am I just working to be sitting at my laptop because otherwise I feel guilty that I'm working from home and I have to be sitting here from 9 to 5. You don't really. You can probably get most of your work done in half the time now. If you're new to work from home, it's going to take a little bit of time. That's a different video. I'll cover on that next week. But just do a time audit and cut down on what's the fluff work, stuff that's non-essential right now, because you'll need to be focused on exactly what's keeping the lights on for you and for your business. Number 4, speak to your landlord. This will probably be the most awkward one because it might not be the most pleasant conversation to have in the world, but it's most important. Obviously, this is only applicable if you have a landlord. But for me, the other day we've 2 offices. I spoke to the landlord about both of them, whether we need them in the future. I was very upfront going, maybe we will, maybe we won't. And I came to an agreement with him. He was very happy. He was very upfront going, cool, I appreciate your honesty. I appreciate what you're saying. They'd rather have an awkward conversation with you now than have an empty office in 6 months' time because you suddenly couldn't afford the rent. So maybe negotiate maybe a rent reduction, or maybe even a couple of free months to get you through this. You'd be shocked how accommodating most landlords will be. They're business people too, never forget that. Their business is just slightly different to yours, but they are business people. They've costs to make, they're worried about how they're gonna pay the mortgage on the building or whatever it is. So speak to your landlord. Be very upfront. And this is kind of like a bonus point, but you want to front load the pain wherever possible. That sounds weird, but when I had a business before and it wasn't going very well, me and my co-founders just kind of let it kind of die out, a natural death, I suppose, instead of going, right, this is what we need to do, blah, 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 cut down with CRO, close our bank accounts, do this, that, and the other. It was such a bad experience that we just kind of shied away from it. We ended up having to pay late fees and fines and stuff like that. So front load the pain now in terms of all the points I just talked about. If you do that, number 1, it might extend the life of your business. It might give you time to just breathe and get through this whole situation. It might end quickly and then suddenly you're out the far side. You've streamlined your business, number 1, because a lot of stuff you might have had might have been fluff. It might have been stuff that was in the good times. You felt it was necessary or you felt it was good to have. But you'd be shocked as to how much you can streamline your business, go lean or whatever you want to call it. But front load the pain. That's the most important thing to remember out of all of this, is to take the pain now, have the awkward conversations, and you'll feel better. The biggest thing for me and how I feel really bad about things is that if I just kind of procrastinate on things and don't move forward and feel stuck. That's why I'm doing these videos, that's why I'm doing these podcasts, that's why I'm doing all this stuff, is to front load the pain and just be moving forward. Number 5, can you change from paid marketing to free marketing? That sounds kind of weird, but if you're spending hundreds of euro on Facebook ads, Twitter, LinkedIn, whatever it is, newspaper ads, whatever it is, can you look at reducing that or moving to free? Now, very important caveat here. If your paid advertising is bringing you in revenue and you're spending €1 and it's bringing in 5, obviously don't turn that off. Be very careful of what you turn off. Turn off stuff that you're either testing or is non-essential. If you're just doing branding or if you're just doing anything, turn off anything that's non-essential, but don't turn off everything. That's the biggest mistake businesses can make in a downturn, is that they turn off everything that was generating revenue from them. And then in 3 months' time, the sales cycle has suddenly stopped and they're out of revenue because they turned off their marketing 3 months ago. So be careful on what you turn off. Speak to your marketing agency, speak to your marketing manager, know what you're talking about. But there is an opportunity now to grab attention. We're in a very weird news cycle. We're in a very weird social media cycle. There's some unbelievably good businesses making a name for themselves now by the brilliant actions they're taking. If you go on Twitter, there's 1 or 2 viral stories every single day of businesses doing really good things, approaching their business differently. There's a restaurant in Dublin. It was a high-end sit-down restaurant, has flipped completely into a high-end takeaway restaurant. But here was the hook, was that you phone in your order, you pay over the phone, you don't go into the restaurant, you just park your car in front of the restaurant, they come out, open your boot, wipe down the boot, sterilize everything, put your dinner in, and you drive off. So that's Michael's restaurant in Mount Marion. So again, I never heard about that place until last week. Now I'm suddenly aware of it, I'm hyper aware of it. So is there places you can carve out a niche for yourself in the social media world. A lot of gyms are actually doing this now. A lot of fitness people are actually doing this in terms of doing live classes. Whereas before, I know Back to Basics gym on the Bellegarde Road in Tala, they're actually doing this. They're doing 3 live classes per day for their members. So they were an in-house gym, in-person gym. People would come in, do their classes every single day. It was all about the experience. Now they're doing 3 classes every single day for their members live, just like this. So think about how you can switch your business and how you can grab people's attention, because everyone's sitting at home, everyone on their phones 24/7 looking at, COVID-19 updates. So how can you make yourself part of that conversation? How can you do good as well? How can you make your business help others during this time? I'm doing these videos with the hope that it'll help other people. And then when this is all over, people will remember the good that hopefully we've done for other people. So yeah, look how you can grab attention, because people's attention is very, very hyper-focused online now. So can you go online with some element or some form of your business? So that's it. That's the 5 tips for how to cut costs in your business. If they're useful, get in touch, drop me a DM, drop me an email. If I can help you in any way, if you've listened to the podcast and you think you'd like just to bounce an idea off me, or you just like someone to talk to, all my social channels are open. You can get in touch with me there, or leave a comment on this video or podcast, whatever you're listening to it on, and I will do my best to get back to every single person. So that's it. Front load the pain. You'll get through this. See you in the next one.